Just want to say, when we were at the Valorant event, the catering for media, some good shit.
Yeah.
That's some good shit, Riot.
But the little things too, like the first day I went, and I was saying last week about how we're spoiled here because the snacks we get here are stupid bougie, like
They're
really
great.
bougie.
Yeah, like
so like it's conditioned me to go to the Riot event. I was there the first day, like last Friday or whatever, like 2 Fridays, and like I go in and I walk up to the free snacks. This is free food for media, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no organic granola bars? You know what I mean? Like, all right, regular fruit to go, not like the, okay.
No, but they don't have like the banana chocolate chip made to go granola bites.
Yeah. Like, do you guys have? I'm sorry. I know you feel like pulling someone aside and be like, I'm sorry. Is there a miscommunication? Here? Like, it's like, but like, anyway, I go last Friday and I walk to the media area, and lo and behold, we see the made good stuff. I see made good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, They watch the podcast.
They know.
They know. The podcast.
Anton is like in here, and he's like, "Boys, we need better snacks for the score, guys."
He's like, "You think Valorant's too slow? Why don't you see what you do when you got organic banana chocolate little cupcake bites?"
Welcome everyone to the TTK podcast here on theScore Esports, and everyone, we had the most banger esports weekend imaginable. Counter-Strike, Valorant in one go, even Los Ratones as well. We got some beautiful guests with us this evening. We have Liz.
Hi.
Say hi to Liz.
Hi,
She's
guys.
in Toronto.
I'm in Toronto. I still work for theScore. I feel like everyone's like, "Oh man, I watched you when you worked at theScore," and I was like, "When I did."
When?
No, I'm just American, and so I don't have this fancy schmancy studio in my home when I work from home. But when I'm here with the boys, we do the podcast. You know what I'm saying? With the lads.
And Dimitri,
Yo.
I saw you at the Valorant event, and I was amazed at how much you f***ing tower over literally everyone.
You know, it's a little not that I try to. I don't try to go incognito or anything at events. Like, it's like literally 80% of the reason I go is to meet people. But I will say it became very obvious to me that like I can't hide if I wanted to, because people see the height and then they just are immediately like,
You know what I saw? So like I think it was on the Friday, like we were still working and Dimitri came to like visit or whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know, I'm gonna head out because I think like you said your wife and you were going to dinner or something or whatever." And it's like I see him like trying to walk out with his backpack on and everything, and then he just gets stopped. "Oh, can we take a picture?" Click. "Oh, stopped again." And I'm like, this guy can't hide even if he wanted to, because like, yeah, there's that. He's like 6'5". His hair is like another 4 feet. So it's like, it's. I was baffled because there's no one really else that's like anywhere near as tall as you.
I think if I wore like a baseball cap and like, like a hoodie, I honestly don't think it would matter. I feel like it's the height is the giveaway.
Yeah.
And it's like 50% of the time, it's the first thing someone says to me. They're just like, "You're so tall. Bro, I had no idea you're so tall. Oh my God, you're so tall." Every time.
Yeah. It's like literally just like make that your like Twitter bio is like, "Dude, I'm so tall."
My favorite thing was when I used to stream, and this is like, it always killed me, is someone in chat, like some viewer would just pop in and they'd be like, "How tall are you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, like somewhere in between 6'4" and 6'5". And they literally, the chatter would just go, "LOL." Sure.
Okay, buddy.
They would be like, "Okay, bud," and I'd be like, and I'd be like, "I'm on camera for a living. Like you can just see. I can't hide it. Like, and then just LOL. Okay,
Yeah.
sure, bud, sure."
And,
I get
5'11" king over here trying to say 6'5", and I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what? How can I lie about my height?"
Liz, you were also at the Valorant event.
I
was. We had a hard time working with you because, man, we had a crowd around us like literally every single minute that we were there.
It was busy.
No, as in like everyone wanted a picture with you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, there were people there.
Yes, yeah. Believe it or
Every
not.
person who came up to me, most people who came up to me were like, "I just saw Liz. I just saw Liz. I just saw Liz." It was really sick. Everybody was extremely friendly and fun.
We were like trying to like get the camera going because we had to shoot in between maps, right? So we're kind of like on the clock with the timer.
Yeah.
And then like we're like in the middle of setting up, and they just like, sorry, Liz. Do you mind me taking me? It was so cute.
was very
Honestly,
sweet.
I was, you know.
It was really humbling. I didn't expect
Yeah.
it at all. And like people were like, I have like gifts. Like these are all gifts. People like someone made me like a Liz at Masters Toronto bracelet.
Oh, that's nice.
And like that sort of like it's really really humbling to see people like come up and like just want a photo with you, want something like I didn't. You know, it doesn't really hit when you work from home in Jersey like that. So it's nice to be with people, literally just be with people and talk to them.
I think for me holding a camera and being like a cameraman kind of made me incognito because like no one could put two and two together.
Yeah, that's what I should do.
Yeah,
Should just work behind the camera. But
Honestly.
again, my height, man, I don't know how to. I don't know like.
they just wouldn't know. Yeah, they just wouldn't know.
I could maybe do a Matt Massey cosplay.
Either
Like shave the top of my head and like.
you would never do that.
No, I would never do that.
Dude,
What
yeah.
am I saying? As those words came out, I was like,
as Dimitri's having an identity crisis, let's get into some of the tournaments that we had over the weekend because it has been a long couple weeks for both Valorant and Counter-Strike. We've been talking about it frequently over the past few weeks. First off, let's talk about the Counter-Strike Major. It was a tournament that happened.
Yep.
And not to say
Wow, Seb.
not to say that I'm not a little deflated by it. I really listen, the final was great. I really enjoyed the teams that were in it. But man, we built up so many fucking storylines that were like, yo, dude, Spirit versus FaZe in the final, brother. You know, Spirit, Donk versus Simple, Zaiwu versus Simple, and like every single one of them failed. Like,
not mine, brother. Run back the clip. Run back the clip from 2 weeks ago when I sat here and I said either Vita's gonna win the major, Spirit's gonna win the major, or fucking Mongolz. I got an all Dimitri final.
If you're picking 3 of 8 teams,
Yeah.
You know, that's
but at the time it wasn't 3 of 8. To be fair, like we weren't in bracket yet.
No, but like we talked about. Okay, we're gonna have you know, the coolest things that could happen is Fallen makes a semis, right? Maybe even goes to a final.
Wait, no.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Sorry, made a quarter. Yeah.
Pain made it to semis. FaZe making semis didn't happen.
Nope.
Fucking Simple dropped a fat goose egg. Holy shit,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was a little
bad. Mongolz ended up just smashing him 2-0. Great 9-10 was just amazing.
Insane.
And then along with that, we had Vitality just completely smoking Na'Vi. The best match, in my opinion, was probably Mouse, and Spirit.
Yeah.
That was a banger of a match that no one was expecting. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh yeah.
There was so many cool things to take away from that. I remember
that Mirage was like
incredible,
insane. Was it 6 overtimes, 5 overtimes?
Yeah,
that was insane. That was a crazy match. But the final was good, and I feel like people are like, why are people like?
It was fine.
The Mongolz took Vitality to 3 maps.
I know, but like
what's the?
I think it was because like the way that it swung back and forth. It was like 13-5, 13-4, 13-6. Those are not great maps to play, and it really and that's why we're having these discussions. I could bring it up. I think Twists recently tweeted out. He was talking about like we got to talk about the economy of the game. Oh, hold on. Let me find the tweet. Hold on. Come on, where'd you go?
Ooh, shocks. You better work. Okay, girl.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I saw that.
Before any map changes happen, let's get that out of the way. Before any map pool changes happen, MR12 in the economy needs to be reevaluated. Increasing the economy of the Galil or adding a 5th loss bonus around 3,900 to 4,000 could help balance things out. My personal opinion is that MR15 was better and they found what really worked. I always hated the fact that we went to MR12. I always did. I never understood. I don't know if it was because to compete with short attention spans or to compete with Valorant, frankly, because they saw a threat. I'm so confused. I mean, do you guys enjoy MR12?
Yeah.
They're different games, and the thing about Valorant with the MR12, and this is what like I think what Twist is getting at, is like the thing with that Valorant doesn't have, that CS does have with MR12, is it's very rare that you have a round in Valorant where you have a true destitute buy. Like you have a truly like
there is only pistols.
There is only classics. We can't even get
a sheriff.
Right. Yeah, a sheriff on the board. Like there's no way. Like the thing about I was talking about this with a viewer at the event, the Valorant event. I was asking questions about the economy about Valorant because it's been so long since I've like seriously played the game, and they were explaining to me like, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, but shouldn't they save here? Like it's a 2v4, and they were like, yeah, they could, but like the thing you have to remember is like even if they just go for this retake and they die, which they will, like there's no way they retake, like they can still get, you know, like a round of SMGs the next round. It's not as if it's like literally these 2 rifles or nothing.
Yeah.
In Counter-Strike, you have rounds where it's like, if you lose this 1 rifle, this 1 M4, this 1 AK or 2,
you're broke.
Blocks the next round.
Yep.
You're utterly broke, and it is a throwaway round. My thing with CS right now is I don't mind MR12. I actually see why Valve did it. I think they're pros. The problem is when you're MR12, unless you have severely screwed your economy and you went all in on a force buy and you deserve to like, you know, bite the bullet.
Yeah.
You should not be in a situation where you're just like, all right, I guess like we have no money, or we get 3 USPs and a deagle, and we're like, and this is why I even play the round. Too many times you ask the question in Counter-Strike, what is even the point of playing this round?
Right.
Whereas in Valorant, like, okay, let's say our money is shit. Jet has ult.
Yeah.
We could make him. We could get
There
knives
are
up on
other,
Jet.
like,
We could
comeback mechanics,
right? Like, oh, I have utility left over from the next round. We could make a play here with a CZ or whatever.
There's
right?
like in Valorant, I feel like you have a lot more like you have like a low buy protocol. Like you have like something you'll see. Like I remember like Gozen's strat one time. Like if they lost pistols, they had like a low buy. The next round, like round 2, they would just all 5 run out like A. On split, like because that was just their protocol, and like sometimes it would work because sometimes usually like overwhelm. Same time with Valorant, you have the abilities to buy, you have the ultimate, which is why like people like Jet, like Chamber back in the day, were such boons because of just what you had.
Well, it also like, you know, for example, I think like Sage ult, which I think it was at the G2 comeback that they made, where like it pretty much allowed for a force buy round to essentially have 6 man on the field because you were able to just bring up a
Econ
teammate,
res,
you know. So I was like, those are like actual mechanics that are built into Valorant that allow for MR12 to be a bit more of a back and forth. And the amount of comebacks that we saw at Masters Toronto was incredible. Like shit, fucking PRX almost got knocked out because of it. However, like it just doesn't feel like that CS is currently built for that. That it is too. It's not back and forth in the same way where it's like, no, you're forced to be broke and now you have to come back. And then I think it creates these snowballs effects. But frankly, I mean, you also got to hit your shots.
It's also the maps. Like the maps contribute. It's a really shit feeling in Counter-Strike, and this is just as true at the pro level as it is in Face It. Like you're on Inferno, the B player gets killed. Like the site player on B gets popped, gets fragged. This literally happened. I did a breakdown this morning on it for the Omen SFM. This is how Vita won the major. Like the last round, the B player gets traded. The CT player retreats, throws the molly. They run onto site. It is a 4v4, and the actual optimal call is, we should probably just save. They haven't even planted the bomb yet, and you're literally like, honestly, the only reason they didn't is because it was match point. They had to go for it, but it was like literally like, it's a shit feeling to be like, it's a 5v4 or a 4v4. We obviously should save here, or we probably should save. If it's a 3v4, a 3v5, they're already running back to the A side. They're like, they're not even a point. Don't even go for this. Now, mind you, that's more of a symptom of Inferno than it is of the economy. But the only thing I disagree with, I shouldn't say disagree with Twist. I think he's trying to make a point, which is like, even if you keep Inferno in the game, you should have these economy changes. But like, and this is not just classic Dupreeh Inferno hate. Like, I feel like finally the community has caught. Inferno has got to go. Inferno has got to go. It is at the point where it is like so abhorrent to watch and so shit to watch.
I do think this also did happen a lot in terms of just forcing saves so early just to keep anything alive. Anubis. Like we saw it in the FaZe Mongolz series where like FaZe literally had 4 man alive and just wasn't able to do anything. So
my biggest issue with Counter-Strike.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Hit me
no,
with
hold on. Wait.
Is
you know
we're
what?
talking about rounds.
Is it the dark corridor? Is it the realism? And is it the realism? What is it? Hit me.
It's why do you guys do best of 3s? That's
instead of
Oh
BO5s.
no. Here's the thing: is
No,
that
no, let her finish. Instead BO3s
Yeah.
instead of BO5s in the finals.
Yeah.
Why do we?
Valve?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really
This
still
is, to be
Valve?
clear, we are with you on this.
Oh,
Yes.
yay.
Yeah.
Yes, we have wanted for
Yes,
years.
For years.
Yeah.
Especially, and this is relevant, especially with MR12. The
Yeah.
thing I'll
Yeah,
say
that's
about with MR15 is like you can have situations, and it happens in MR12 too, like between Mouse
Yeah.
and if you didn't watch it, which is completely understandable because literally Counters or Valorant was happening at the same time. But that opening map between Mouse and Spirit went to 5, if not 6 overtimes
Yeah.
on Mirage. That will happen. The problem is that in MR15, like the biggest reason I was an advocate, and to some degree still am an advocate for MR12, is because you actually have broadcast days where you're like, there is an Inferno map between, there was one I remember like 2 years ago between Liquid and somebody. I think it was actually Mouse. I think it was Mouse before Rob's left. And there was like the swan song Rob's Mouse.
Yeah.
And it went to like 6 overtimes on Inferno, but it was also, this was still the MR15 days.
Yeah.
So the map ended. And the broadcast it was a 2 hour and 47 minute map.
Yeah.
Like it was at the point of just like, this is crazy.
So-
So imagine a BO5 where you have maps that can potentially go 2+ hours.
Yes.
You end up with a 10-hour BO5 that is so unreasonable, both for the audience and the players and the broadcast staff, like everybody involved, right? I can understand why they have to be careful, right?
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Like, and most people are with you. Katowice is BO5 now.
They've switched a good portion of like the
Yeah.
outer, like the premier tournaments to BO5 because
Yes.
it just makes more sense.
It
You
does.
get more out of your show.
It's the
But
majors that are still BO3, and that's what's
majors
so
are Valve operated.
Right.
Like
Yes.
they're all the format stuff is determined by Valve, and it hasn't changed generally outside of Boston 2018, which they added the legends and champions and all that stuff. People have even when it was MR15, people still kind of wanted best of fives because they wanted more out of a major final. They don't care if it was like IAM Katowice if that was best of 3, but for a major final, they wanted more out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want that. You know,
I want it
I would
too.
love that.
I want it
It
too.
would be Valve.
The greatest series of all time, FaZe Navi at Cologne 22.
Mhm.
The greatest. It's not Katowice. I always mix them up. No, it's Cologne 22.
Yeah, it's Cologne.
Was a 5-map barn burner.
It
went
was
to
amazing.
the 5th. It had all the theatrics. Like it was like absolutely the most incredible map series ever. The best BO5. I mean, the best series in esports. All the best series in esports. All the greatest TI finals. The greatest
Best of
Worlds finals in
fives.
League of
Right,
Legends.
yeah.
BO5. Like it's. I just feel like. I watched Mongolz lose that 3rd map yesterday, and I was like,
They had more in the tank.
they had more in the tank.
Do you think they could
More
have
in the
won it
tank.
if it was best of 5?
No, I would
No,
not go that far
no.
because you're talking about a serious underdog against the best team we've seen in 6 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am saying that like they won Mirage handily,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
13-4,
oh, yeah. It was
whatever the fuck it
crazy.
was, destroyed them on Mirage, and I feel like like Seb said, all the maps were very one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was this feeling of like, all right, one-sided map, cool. One-sided map, cool. One-sided map, cool. Let's give him one more. Let's get and it's just the fact that it ended there was just like such a, it's Inferno, man. You start getting into a hole on T side, on you know what I mean? It feels really shit. Like there is that awful feeling in MR12 like exacerbates this where it was a 9-3 half for Mongolz on T side Inferno. And T-side Inferno is one of those things where like when you're in a hole, it can suck.
Yeah.
You get to the next half, they lose pistol, right? They lose second round bye because again, you have no money. And then you
Right.
get to this thing where you're down 11-3. You're down 11-3
So much
and
pressure.
you go, okay, first real bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Better win this. Like it's brutal, right?
Basically, major. I think exasperated some symptoms that we have with CSR right now. I think still everyone still really enjoyed it. I think
Oh,
it
it's a
was
great
a
major.
fantastic
Yeah.
major. There were so many storylines, especially going into quarters. Again, I think Mao's spirit was the delivered the most. Seeing Donk tilt was hilarious. It was
How old is he?
like 17, 18?
yeah.
I don't know. He's really young.
Anyway.
It's crazy.
And we had the retiring of one of my favorite players ever. Let's get it on the screen because Dupreeh, one of still has the record for the most majors of any CS player ever.
5.
Had his retirement, and tear up, man.
Oh, it was tough to watch.
And obviously, all good things come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye.
Fuck, man.
When I first got to play Counter-Strike, I never imagined that we could gather so many people, and so many people follow these esports. And at that time, my only goal was just to make a name for myself, and I wanted to go out there and just, if I could just win one major, that would be the goal for me, and that would be an achievement in itself. And today I stand with 5 titles. And I think that the only rightful way to do and say that this is the end of my career as a professional player is to do it at the biggest stage and in front of all of you, and just before someone's gonna try and take the next trophy.
One of the best careers of all fucking time.
Absolutely one of the greatest careers of all time. 100%.
5 majors.
5 majors.
Immense.
Grand Slam.
Grand
5
Slam.
majors.
Part of the greatest team of all time.
One.
Liz, doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I know, it was really, it was a tearjerker. It was,
Every single CSGO major.
you know what it is for me? You know what it is for me? I'm one of those people who, like, when I do something, I do it for a long time. Like, when I get a job, I work it a very long time. When I went to camp, I started at a camp. When I was 6, I attended till I was 12. I was a volunteer. I was a counselor till I was 24, 25. I went to the same university for 3 degrees. Like, I just am one of those people who, like, I'm like a creature of habit.
Yeah.
When I watch this, the reason it really affected me is because, and I think that's why I can see, like, it's that, like, yes, it's a storied career. Yes, it's about the title, but like, it's actually way simpler than that. This guy is like, he's like roughly our age, right? 30 odd.
93.
90.
So.
He's my age. He's 32 years old. Yeah. So he's 32. This is a guy who's been playing this game, not just playing CS, but like playing professionally, semi-professionally. Like, his life has been this competitive circuit since he was like 16.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like, it's not just that he's saying goodbye to, like, a playing career, right? It's that he's actually, like, the flights, the hotels, the tournaments, the scrims, the pracs, like, this has been his existence for so long that to say goodbye is, like, it's one of those things where, like, I can't even imagine the memories. Like, you think back to the earliest days.
Dude,
like, I just...
Like, early Dignitas, even before that, like... Yeah, dude, the depth of his career, people will like to look at, when we look at our greatest of all time, and we'll look at, you know, a Faker, you know, a Simple or whatever, but we don't often give a lot of credit to just straight up winningest. And sure, Device was his star, right? But Dupreeh was hand in hand and so many times. He's very akin to No Tail in that way, where he's just like, there has never been a time where he's been out of the conversation. There's never been a time where his teams have been out of the conversation since literally the beginning, from Dignitas to Question Mark to when he was with TSM to fucking Astralis, and then winning the last CSGO major with Vitality. It's like, it's hard to put a single dude's careers into words. So I'm happy he's on the analyst desk. I think he's a natural.
He's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. You know, I think we have too many Danish people on the desk now. I think one of them's got to go. No, I'm just kidding. The Danes went from the stage to the desk.
I was going to say, they're sure as hell not on the stage. So.
But you know, I know Dupreeh's not going to be listening to this, but you know, he's one of my favorite players, and I enjoyed watching his career immensely over the years. So
the unstated GOAT, literally the unstated GOAT of Counter-Strike. Like 5 major titles, the most of any player in history.
Yeah.
And a slam, innumerable tournaments with the straw. Like just like you can't even count how many tournaments they won in their run. And like he was there at the beginning, he was there at the end, right? It's a career that is like players literally like. How insane is it to say? Simple, ZywOo, those players dream of a career like Dupreeh's.
Yeah.
Dupreeh's career was so storied, so decorated. It's like beyond.
We celebrate like Kenny S for like winning one major.
Yeah.
Do you know how like I guess the Valorant equivalent would be like you win pretty much 5 Masters or like at least like 3 champions basically or something along those lines where it's just like because it's over so many years.
Oh,
Yeah.
He won world championships from 2017 to 2023.
But he's been attending them since 2013.
Yeah.
And he's been right. And he like
10 years of just straight legend spots. All the way
if a
through.
player like FNS, if Valorant was old enough, and it will be one day, but like if a player like FNS had spent his entire career just in Valorant, like you're talking about a 32-year-old or 30 X-year-old who spends like 16 fucking years playing a game competitively, winning almost half a dozen world titles, right? It's like, I mean, I don't know. Dupreeh is truly like that's a career that I don't think we'll ever see. I mean, ZywOo has now been playing. He just won his 2nd major yesterday.
Yay.
Well, my GOAT, and like he's 2, man.
He's 2.
He has 2. He does have a slam, but he has 2.
He
He
has
has
2.
2. He's not even halfway to where Dupreeh is.
No.
And like, how crazy is that to say?
That's just-
How fucking insane is it to say? Simple's 1/5 of where Dupreeh is.
Yeah.
Nico's got this one, right? It's crazy.
You gotta
It's
do
like
it.
truly insane. Like,
Damn. Twist the knife, bro.
Yeah. Twist got one.
Twist got 2. No, one.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it's 2 slams.
I
Yeah.
like Apex on Vitality. I think he's cool.
I fucking love him.
I think he's like
You know what's funny, Liz?
What?
Is
does he like me?
let me I have no idea.
You think I'm cool?
Apex thinks everybody's cool. Apex is a really nice guy. I
This
interviewed
is,
him one time, and he was a lovely dude.
This is Apex coming into the major.
Did you see this?
No. What?
This is okay, Liz. This is the most aura maxing. I think Rops literally retweeted it and just wrote aura
Yeah.
maxing. This is the most aura maxing fucking stage entrance in the history of fucking competitive FPS. This is his phone. This is Apex's own POV holding up the middle finger to the crowd as he ascends from the floor onto the stage.
Oh my
give me a
God.
second. Take it off real quick. Give me a second to find it because
that is.
Literally cinema.
Yeah.
Cinema. So like the broadcast camera shows all 5 Vita players coming up, and you just see Apex holding up his phone, just doing this, and then he uploaded that video later
Yeah.
to show his POV because he was like the villain at this major. Like everybody thinks that one, people just like to cheer against super teams, so they didn't want Vita to win. But 2, there's been this storyline for a very long time that Apex is like not a good IGL. That he doesn't drop as many kills. He just doesn't have as much impact.
which is statistically incorrect. By
It
the way.
is.
His
he like
rating is
literally
like 105.
Wasn't he like 16 and 5 on Inferno?
He had the
or
best
something?
ADR of the entire team.
map, right?
Yeah.
The point is that it's so cool to hear you say you like Apex because I love Apex. We love Apex because Sebastian's an old school French Counter-Strike stan. So like he goes back with. But
You
like,
called him Sebastian for that.
did I call Sebastien is CS. The CS community is very divided on Apex, so it's super cool to hear like an ancillary fan say, "I think he's awesome."
I think he's really cool. Yeah.
Did you hear him say the F word literally 6 times in his post-game interview with Shocks?
Yeah.
She asked him the final question, and she was like, it was so funny because even she, like the most experienced broadcast talent ever, was literally like, I don't know how many more times you're gonna say fuck you, but I did have one more question, and she was had this like feeling of just like.
Also, Apex has like 3 majors now.
Yes, he does.
Dude, that's like.
So are we gonna? There's a lot to talk about in the wake of this. Like, is ZywOo now the GOAT? Is Apex the GOAT IGL?
No.
He's
No,
not-
because I don't personally. I don't measure GOAT IGLs by major wins. I judge them by consistency with different rosters. I think that's the best way that you.
So Kerrigan's your goat.
Kerrigan's my goat because he's 34.
Is Apex above Glaive now?
No.
What? What?
No. Glaive, they're like neck and neck, I think, but Glaive has the up only because one, the sheer dominance of the Astralis run
Was
is
insane,
still
yes, the
untapped.
greatest of all time.
And frankly, like Glaive's approach to the game and revolutionizing how Astralis play is more impactful to me than what Apex is generally doing, which is like, you know, a really strong, good fundamentals utility style with like kind of go kill. And not to say that it's bad necessarily, but I think like another major win, yes, absolutely. But he remember, he also hasn't been IGLing for the entirety of his career.
He hasn't.
He was an entry in 2014,
yeah, it's
right?
a great story, actually.
So it's like he went from like an entry frag.
He was
to
a Zoomer
an IGL.
duelist for the first like 5 years of his career or whatever. I mean, it was a little longer. I can't remember. But he was like literally one of the most. This guy was the French Zekken, and then hit whatever age and was like, all right, I'm not 17 anymore. I'm not 18. Right? I'm not 19.
Yeah.
And decided to become an IGL, but. No, it's a great story. Nobody believed in him because they were like, it's one thing when like a fragging player decides to become an IGL.
Right.
It's another thing when like literally a haha go burr duelist turn my brain off player decides to become an IGL. It's like that's not what you go to that player for.
Yes.
And he decided like, no, I have what it takes. I'm gonna do it. And I mean, he's now won 2 majors as an IGL.
It sucks that I can't find it because there was like the most aura farming like picture of Vitality as they're coming up, and you just see Apex just shooting it. One of the blast photographers took it, and I can't find it on their freaking Flickr right now.
People hate Apex. I think he's lovely. He's a very nice guy.
He's just fun. He's just fun.
He's
also,
funny as hell.
I want to point out real quick
like,
before we get into it that along with this was like Mongolz, like Mongolia showed up.
Dude.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
But dude, look at this crowd to watch
Oh my God.
Mongolz play in a major, bro. I'm sorry, the thing's kind of bad. But.
Wow.
I saw someone who is presumably a local say it was like who was there say it was basically our like 08 Olympics. They were like it's basically like this was our like
and
the
it wasn't just this
showed up.
like this is like an arena, like a hockey. Is that a hockey arena? Wow.
Yeah, it is. I said this in my reaction. I was like, they have hockey arenas in Mongolia?
That's cool.
That's so cool.
That's like a barn that's totally full, dude. Like, that's sick to me, man. That's like Counter-Strike expanding to like new horizons.
Dude. Can we just, I'm going to do it one time. I'm going to say it one time, and we're never going to talk about it again because it's not the focus of this podcast. But I'm going to say it one time.
Say it one time.
And this is no disrespect to Mongolia. I know this team has worked very, very hard to get here. Very hard. But they can do this. They can take trains to fucking tournaments in Mongolia and make it to a major final. But fucking North America can't make it out of fucking stage 1. Are you fucking kidding me? And again, zero disrespect to the Mongols. That team has worked very fucking hard to get here. That org, that core, they've worked extremely hard to get here.
Mongols has been around.
This is not a team that showed up out of nowhere like flash in the pan at this major. Like they have steadily been. There's a reason 2 weeks ago I said they're gonna win the fucking major. Like only half memeing. I was like they're gonna win. Like. But I will say, you watch Mongols make a major final, and you see all of the infrastructural obstacles that team has had to face to get to compete at a tier 1 European Counter-Strike level, and you ask yourself, like, I got fucking $3 billion training facilities for Complexity and fucking Liquid, and you're like, you can't fucking make it out of right? So, I said I was gonna say it one time, and that's it. I'm saying it one time. Man. Get your head out of your ass.
North America needs some help,
dude.
Shout out to Leash. But North America's doing decent in Valorant, that's where just all of our players went, you know?
I showed up.
I'm pretty sure we did the worst at Toronto if you do like the standings. Because like.
No. We had 2 top 6.
Yeah.
But like if you like, because China got 3rd, EMEA got 2nd, Pacific got 1st, we were like in 4th.
Yeah, but so we had majority teams later in the bracket.
We did.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did.
And frankly, like, I don't know, that Sentinel series was shocked.
What are you going to say?
That Sentinel series was a bit shocked.
That was rough. That was a rough watch. I can't lie. That was rough.
We'll get into it proper. I do have one more thing that I want to bring up quickly, just as a quick point. before we move on to Valorant. This tweet came up where this isn't to shit on Mongolz. I get it, right? But this is becoming an increasing problem. And you can see here, so crowd assistance basically is the idea that you're pointing at specific places where a player could be positioned, waiting for a crowd reaction, and that way you have the info on it.
Yeah.
Because in Counter-Strike, for whatever fucking reason, fire safety, we don't play in booths. Which I still think is dumb. I don't understand why we don't. I still think it's important to actually have like some sound integrity, whatever. But you know, there was a couple points here where you can see he's shaking his crosshair, looking for particular reaction and stuff. And it's not new, right? Olaf famously had that clip on Cash, and it actually worked.
Yep.
But you know,
Do people do this in Valorant, Liz?
I would say they don't ask for assistance.
They don't do things where they like waggle a crosshair
No.
at something, and if the crowd roars, they know somebody's there.
I'm sure it's happened, but I don't think it's like, I don't think they're like, oh, I'm gonna waggle here or like do this here like that. I don't think that.
I think it's a loser move. I think Senzu's a god. I think Senzu's
he's
a
great.
god, and he was
Great
a
player.
fucking clutch master at this major in the
yes.
final.
Oh
too.
my god.
That 1v2 on Inferno was fucking crispy.
Was it
Crispy.
Senzu or was it 510 that got the 1v5 op?
That was 910 who got the
Or was
ace.
it 910,
Yeah, the
excuse
ace.
me.
And it was Senzu. I think it was not Techno. It was Senzu who got the 1v2, the one match point on Inferno when
Yeah.
it was the bomb.
Yeah.
That was an insane
Insane,
clutch.
insane.
But I will say this is
You gotta
bad
fix this.
look.
You gotta
fix
it.
this.
You
This is a
know
bad look.
that's like you gotta get an admin in there. I think it's a simple admin move.
I just think the booze is like, it's how fucked is it that we have booths for TI, but we don't have booths where sound like matters, like because you can do things where like, you know, there's a smoke gank comes out and then like a team is like you know, an ADC is like farming a camp. I said ADC, a carry player is farming a camp, and then like, you know, like the crowd starts roaring and the carry player's just like, oh, am I getting ganked? Like, right, like that can happen. But sound is obviously way more important in Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And like the fact that we have at TI we have the booths is just like, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's like, yeah, True Sight, there's that sick moment where the camera like pans in and like literally the door closes and it's like a fucking Scorsese grade, like the sound just cuts.
Yeah.
Like
Sick.
30,000 people, 40,000 people just silenced. Like it's
Yeah.
so fucking cool. And you're just in the
Anyway,
draft. It's so cool.
The
Like,
argument is that like fire safety or it doesn't look as cool, and I'm like, yeah, well, it keeps the game pure, right? So, that was the last point for CS. Either
is
way,
Iwu the GOAT now? Is Iwu the greatest? Is Iwu the GOAT?
the goat,
27
like,
MVPs,
goat of
Grand
goats?
Slam, 2 majors.
the goat of goats. I think
Iwu the GOAT?
he has a decent argument for being the CS goat. I do. I still think that Counter-Strike GOAT across multiple titles, my personal opinion is that Get Right is the GOAT as the dominance from 1.6.
Does he follow you on Twitter yet?
No.
Get right. Get your shit. We love you, brother.
That's my
Fucking
favorite
Chris.
running joke. With
Fucking Chris
Dimitri.
is- you know, the problem is that now he knows, and so he just like doesn't fucking.
You're making
Sometimes
him,
I'll
you're
talk
making
to him,
him
and
sad.
he'll
Get
be like,
right.
Who are you? Like, so fucking annoying.
Well, like
man.
every player follows you, so it's just
Not
it's-
true.
I mean, probably
No.
if you interact with them on Twitter, probably.
No.
I have no
Oh.
problem getting follows, bro. I just got problems getting Get Right to follow me. It's fucking. And he's playing hard. And the worst part is like because I'm
Playing hard to get.
playing hard to get, bro. And the worst part is because I'm such an OG CS head like you. There's like this emotional significance, like a cultural significance
Yeah.
to Get Right. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Like
Like,
what would it
Simple
mean
could
to you?
follow me tomorrow, and I could be like, you know, like that's
But
cool.
dude,
That's
no,
cool.
no.
That's sick.
Like,
It's
like I
sick,
sent
but,
you
like,
when Launders, or was it Launders or Nell or whatever, who put out like, oh, Valorant team talks. Meanwhile, like CS has had him for years, and it shows like Shox is team talk when he was on G2, and it was like, dude, don't give me classic. Don't give me classic Shox, man. You're gonna make me cry because he's like my actual favorite player of all time. And Shox like replies to me with a heart. And then I immediately send it over to Dimitri. It's like,
Yeah, he was on one. He was very excited.
fucking giddy,
Yeah.
man.
Are we doing it? Let's do the cringiest, most fucking like flex. What's your favorite, coolest favorite? You know, they're like on the podcast they'll do like what's like the celebrity? Whose celebrity do you have on your phone? What number do you have?
Yeah.
What's the best? Who's your favorite / like flexist Twitter follow?
AJ Burnett.
AJ Burnett follows you.
AJ Burnett, the New York Yankees pitcher,
Follows you on Twitter.
follows me on Twitter.
Why?
AJ Burnett
Liz
follows
looks
me.
fucking feral right now.
Yeah, AJ Burnett, who won a World Series in 2009.
All excitement she just had to state her follow is just gone.
No, because Liz and I are both notoriously Yankees fans, and we we're like in refugee status right now because we are surrounded by Blue Jays fans who hate the fact that we're Yankees fans.
Fuck the Yankees.
Yeah,
Fuck you
exactly.
guys.
Fuck the Yankees.
Oh yeah, no,
Imagine, like-
they hate the fact that I'm a Yankees fan because I'm a Canadian, and I'm like my family, my entire family, literally my entire family is filled with Yankees fans.
Who cares?
Anyway,
Yankees suck. Tell your
whatever.
story.
AJ Burnett follows me on Twitter because his son plays Rocket League.
What the fuck are you taking? What is that?
Taking your water bottle away. Yankees suck. You don't get water.
Continue. It's like 40 degrees today. That's got to be an HR
Oh wait, no,
violation.
you're right. That's me.
Yeah.
That's an HR violation.
So AJ Burnett's son plays Rocket League, and he was playing at like a pretty high level. And I was like, dude, this is so sick. I'm really happy that like your kid is playing or whatever. And it was like Stax as well, who's one of the casters for Rocket League. We're mentioning. I was like, holy shit, like this is awesome, you know. But he's not like getting into baseball or whatever. He's trying to become like a high level Rocket League player. And I was like, dude, I'm so supportive of your guy. I hope he comes plays in like college one day so I can cast him, whatever. And then, yeah, he followed me on Twitter. And I'm like, I didn't have the heart to tell him. I was like, dude, I hope you know, like, I watched you growing up when I was like a kid.
That's fire.
But yeah, that's, you know. That's
All right,
great.
what's yours, Liz? Whatever it's gonna be is not gonna be as cool as that.
I know.
Makes me
Non-esports related, my favorite wrestler, Konosuke Takeshita, follows me.
That's dope.
I have loved him forever.
That's fire.
And,
Holy
oh
shit.
my god, I have the most embarrassing story. So like, I like think he's like so cool and so dope, and I thought he was so cool and so dope. But basically, I like had a feeling, we call it a heel turn in wrestling. I had a feeling he was gonna go bad, and I was like, oh, like I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen soon. And he wasn't booked for the pay-per-view.
Right.
But he just is at the building, and I'm like, oh my god, it's happening today. He's turning today.
Yeah.
He turns that day, and I realized also it's his birthday. And so, but I'm like so overwhelmed by what's happening. I DM this man on his biggest like heel turn birthday. I'm like, happy birthday, like etc. It's also when Tears of the Kingdom came out. And so I'm like, happy birthday. An hour later, I freak out. I'm like, wait, I'm so sorry. Like, it's like your big day. It's your birthday. I'm so sorry. I hope you're enjoying Legend of Zelda. Bye. And I like die, and I don't die of embarrassment. And he responds to me, he goes, thanks, Elisabeth. Like, I enjoy Zelda every day. And I literally, at like 1 a.m, I like have the most like, like scream.
I have to turn that down.
He is so talented, and like that is like. I still like I check to make sure he's still following me.
You gotta check,
because
yeah.
if he were to unfollow me, that like I 100% understand it. 2 would break my heart.
Yeah.
Like
what's your favorite esports one?
Oh,
or your biggest flex?
Anders follows me, which is cool. Shocks follows me, which is cool.
Gotta pick one.
Oh, you mean Shocks like
like Shocks, the league
yeah,
talent.
yeah, okay. I'd have to go back and check, man. Honestly.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that I like. There are a lot of cool people that follow me, and I don't want to like. It's definitely like. Sometimes like a random like streamer will pop up, and it's like, oh shoot, like you know who I am, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I would say it's either like Shocks or Anders. I think is cool.
That's
like,
fire.
Because
That's
Anders,
cool.
like I mean, even like not being super into Counter-Strike, Anders is like such a storied individual.
Yeah.
And
Are you kidding me?
And he's like, and he's like always been so kind to me and has given me advice.
I'll have to check, man.
Shocks has also been so kind.
Shocks is a goat.
So, but yeah, I would say those two are like the people that immediately come to mind.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. JNaps follows me, which is like my favorite Rocket League player of
That's
all
sick.
time. But I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I really like don't keep track of like.
There's just so many.
No, it's more just like I don't know, because like my scenes are too niche. Mewtwo King follows me,
Cool.
which is cool. Who's like a Smash God, you know, that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. There's some other ones, but
You guys are just fucking horrified. Like I said pick one, and now it's like
because I really okay. What's yours, Dimitri?
okay. My favorite, which is Cage follows me.
That's
That's my favorite.
pretty fucking
That's my
nice.
favorite one. That
that's
is
pretty
like
That's pretty
like
fucking nice.
that's my goat. That's my goat.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like because we did the thing for rank upping down, and
Yeah.
so and he still follows me, He liked my wedding photos actually.
I need
When
to
we-
get.
when we posted them.
I need
Oh,
to.
my
Get,
favorite. Actually, hold on. My favorite one was this. This was like MSI last year. Maybe it was 2023. I can't remember, but I think it was last year, where it was the Cassante MSI. It was the one where Cassante was just like going crazy, and it was a big talking point in the league community about how Cassante was just like obscenely broken, like hilariously broken.
Right.
And this CS player that I follow, who knows nothing about League, like it's literally nothing about League of Legends, just tweeted, "Guys, I don't know anything about League of Legends, but like something to the effect of like I don't watch or play League at all, but I feel like this Cassante guy is like maybe a little like the game is not supposed to play this way.
Yeah.
Like this thing of just like and I retweeted it, and it got literally like 2 likes because it wasn't my tweet. It was just this retweet of this mutual I have,
Yeah.
and the 2 likes were just some account. Like and Cadril. And I literally saw Cadril liked your tweet, and I just out loud laughed. I was like, "That was so funny!"
shit.
Like,
That's funny.
I it's only by extension because now I'm fucking aura farming, but it's only by extension. Is Baus also follows me on Twitter,
Okay, that's dope.
which
I
is
think he's
sick.
so cool.
That's
Baus
pretty
is the Cadril is my goat, so I it's like
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
But Baus following me on Twitter is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking sick.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, the messy.
I need to get Shocks. Shocks. Ishal, si tu peux. Je veux cette Twitter follow.
don't speak in Canadian. That's not how you get an
In
accent.
Oh, no.
Canadian.
Hey, tu peux me comprendre? No. My French is quite awful today, but
Today.
je peux parler beaucoup français si tu veux.
Enough. Move on.
Americans don't like
Fucking
to hear French.
Italians.
It weirds them out. Yeah.
My mom was fluent growing up.
Your mom is fluent?
Am I
I
wrong
thought your
though?
mom was
Doesn't weird you out a
Italian.
little bit?
My mom is not Italian, but she took French in high school and all through like college and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and like did like a study.
Alors, si tu peux parler un peu?
I took Latin. That's a dead language. I can't help you
All
there.
right, bet. All right, bet. Okay, so I wrote down Valorant Masters, Valorant PRX win.
Yep.
And the next is Liz go off.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. So for those, I guess, like for y'all, and maybe those of us at home who are not huge Valorant fans,
Well,
this-
keep in mind, we did watch like pretty much up until the final because we were watching.
I only
CS.
couldn't watch the final because the CS.
Yeah,
Right.
was
but we
happening.
were there and it was
but
fun.
this is a story like 5 years in the making. Like this is an organization and team that has been like constantly proving people wrong for so long, but has never had the trophy, and it's just always been like out of their reach. This tournament specifically, like they barely made it into playoffs in Pacific, and so it like if they made it to playoffs, like oh okay dude, you know, like whatever, you know they don't win Pacific or anything like that. But to see them finally win the trophy after so long, after like so many people on this roster had stayed, like after like Jing, who we thought was gone after 2023 for his mandatory military service, and he lost at champs, you know, and that was emotional. It means so much to them. It means so much to me as someone who's watched them for a really long time. Like I remember watching them lose to FPX at my like parents' house kitchen table, and, like
Angel.
in near tears, being like this. I remember it was Breeze. Like I remember exactly what happened. Like it was so upsetting, and like this is something that like just goes to show if you like put in the time, you put in the effort, you believe in your people and your folks, and you keep them going, magic can and will happen. And like I'm so glad that the organization believed in them and believed in the coaches and believed in the players, that they said, okay, you know, like you're working hard, you're doing this, and it makes me so happy that I wish it came sooner. I really did. And
What was the map score?
3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it almost absolutely could have gone to a map 5.
Okay.
Honestly, that was Fnatic's map to lose, and they did the last one. But they've showed such growth and maturity and brilliance and an adaptation to the game itself and how it's changed, staying true to their self and their style.
This is the Go Burr team, right?
Yeah, this is like the W Gaming team.
This is the W
Yeah.
Gaming team that for years and years Niall has been telling me like they are the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because they are just like fucking lunatics.
Yeah.
I would, especially early on, but I think especially recently, they've really found like a grounded style that I think has like really, really helped them. I think like
Okay.
especially with kind of like how other teams have played. I think they found like a really nice niche where they keep that W gaming style and they keep that sort of, Gober style, but it's almost like elevated in in a certain sense where they're genuinely very smart with the way they play. The comps they've created are, not like Jing is on an Omen at one point, so and that's not very Gober, but
I really kind of enjoyed how the crowd really embraced them, even against Sentinels, which I was like, holy shit.
At the event I was really lucky at this event I didn't go to work in the sense of I didn't go to shoot anything. I just went to enjoy it to get a litmus test. Like I haven't been to a Valorant event before. I hadn't watched the game in years, and so I was like, you know what? Let's experiment. Let's go. Let's throw myself into it. And so I got to spend a lot of time walking around the venue, talking to people, talking to average fans. And I swear to God, every single person I talked to was cheering for PRX.
Yeah.
Even all the North Americans, all of them were like, oh, PRX. They're like, oh, I'd love to see Sentinels win. That would be cool. G2 would be, but I'm cheering for PRX. Yeah. And it was really cool to see they were such a fan favorite. It seems like they're the darlings of the community. Yeah. The darlings of the scene.
Well, also because Gen G got eliminated. There was a lot of Gen G fans there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they, I remember we were doing a social video right after the Wolves Gen G series, which was a banger, by the way. That was such a fun series to watch. And
I did see that one,
everyone was going for Wolves because they were also on their own kind of Cinderella run.
I will.
What?
I will.
Yeah, it was great to watch, and we were trying to film a shorts video, and we had people come over. Kai's asking, was like, "Oh, who are you cheering for?" Blah blah. Are you cheering for Wolves or whatever? And then you just see "Go Gen G" sign. And I'm there was a lot of Gen G fans. So I'm wondering if they switched over to Paper X or not. I will say, the best part about Paper X winning is the Forsaken tag redeemed. There's no negative connotation to anyone having the name tag Forsaken ever again.
True.
We never have to talk about it.
Yep.
We know Forsaken as a Masters winning player.
MVP winning.
MVP winning.
Yeah.
Not a Counter-Strike cheater.
Yeah. It's Jason is such a talented player, and his calling has gotten. It was already good. It got so much better. He's a fragger. I was talking to Effie's, who's the coach of Shopify Billion Gold, in the crowd, and we were before the series started, we were kind of dumbfounded about how he is not a part of the GOAT conversation. Hasn't really been. People will talk about other people, but they won't really include Forsaken for whatever reason. And we literally
IGLs aren't really included in that conversation.
They rarely are.
And we were dumbfounded about that. We're he's mechanically. If you go back and you watch his performance, and you'd be this man doesn't seem like an IGL, right?
Mm-hmm.
He aims like someone who's being told where to go.
Yeah.
They win, and he wins the MVP award, and we both, Effie and I, Loke and I both look at each other and we go, well, he's in the conversation now. We say at the exact same time because it's about time that people I wish it didn't take this long, and I'm very happy for him that he got the beautiful MVP bracelet and the award, but he has been so good for so long, such a flexible player. I think he's played 21 out of 26 available agents, which is insane when you think about the pool.
That is insane. That's nuts.
He is such a good player, and he didn't. I'm really happy he has this MVP award and the trophy. I wish he didn't need it for the community to be oh, wait, he's really, really good. Not that, the entire community is like that, but I feel he has been left out of the conversation a lot. Yeah. And I'm glad he's getting
the thing with IGLs is
flowers.
And maybe this is why Apex, it comes back to Apex, why Apex gets so much hate.
Yeah.
It's let's say, put it this way, right? Vitality loses. ZywOo drops 30. Right?
Yeah.
But they still lose, right? He's ZywOo. He gets the op. He gets to kill people. He gets to go kill. He gets priority. He can still pop off if they lose. The star players can still pop off if they lose. The thing with IGLs is that we've struggled for a long time with this in esports, is it's really hard to measure an IGL's impact on the server.
Yes.
Because they're more often than not things you don't see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the one hand,
it's a lot of intangibles, a lot of calls that aren't done. Also wanted to bring up this picture because I think
that's a beautiful photo.
It's
that's
lovely,
Pappen, and that is Mind Freak there.
Yeah. And I love, I would have loved if Fnatic won. It would have been great. I think it would have been a nice story. I think Kayak deserves it. I think Poster has been doing great. But I'm okay with you know what? That's fine.
It seems like that was the attitude every single person I spoke to at the event had, which was either PRX is my team or X is my team, but I would love to see PRX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, but if PRX beat them, that would be fine.
It's,
you know
the,
what I mean? Like,
it's the same thing like in CS. Like, I think there's a lot of people who like had, man, I would love if like FaZe won, or like I really want FaZe to win. I really want Spirit to win. But man, Mongolz winning would just be something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I love those kind of storylines because those are like the protagonists, and very rarely in esports do you really get the protagonists winning. But in this case, it really felt like the
Yeah.
protags won.
It's kind of like for the American example, or people who watch football. It's like football. Like you want, like at the Super Bowl, like my team didn't make it, right? Like, but oh man,
What's
I
your
want.
team?
I have 3.
oh, okay.
Which makes it harder. Because I grew up in North Jersey, so I'm a Giants fan. But I also went to college near Philadelphia, so I'm an Eagles fan. But my family, when I was growing up, my sibling went to Tulane University, which is in New Orleans, so we're also a Saints fan. So I have like these 3 I follow. Only one team made the Super Bowl, right? Eagles made the Super Bowl. But this thing is like everyone in the States is like, mostly if you're not from Kansas City, you hate the Chiefs.
Oh, fuck.
Right? So you're like,
I don't even watch the game.
yeah,
I
and you hate the Chiefs, right?
Fuck the
But like,
Chiefs.
so even if your team doesn't make the Super Bowl, you're like, well, I hope they just beat the Chiefs. Like, fuck the Chiefs, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So it's kind of like that sort of thing. But in this case, like, especially with like PRX, they've been working at it for so long. They have like kind of been up and down and up and down, you know. And it's been like the amount of work they put into this moment has been just. They deserve it so much.
Yeah.
Alex deserves it, you know. So
Real quick, I'll go on a quick tangent. I Denver's my favorite team because when I was a kid, I liked the fact that they had a cool looking horsey as their logo, and that's why they're my team.
honestly, hell yeah. What the hell? Sure.
Denver
that's
Broncos.
horse girl energy, and I love that for you.
I could have been a horse girl. My parents stopped that.
No.
I just want to let people know. So, like, if you're a horse girl,
I dated a horse
solidarity.
girl. That was a fun time.
Was she a Broncos fan?
Yeah. Your fucking face right that
Did you?
just had me shook. So let's rein it back in
Yeah.
that to finish off basically Valorant. Really happy that we had an event in Toronto.
Oh yeah,
It was awesome that we had an event in Toronto. Riot treated media very well,
Very well.
as for all of us who were there. Thank you, Riot. You did an amazing job. I hope that we get to see you come back. You know, I hope the city makes it worth it for you guys to come back. City of Toronto, get your shit together, get some subsidies for some of these events because, like, we want esports here, and there's clearly a crowd for it.
Yes.
It was insane.
The fact that we had that much of a crowd that was
Yeah.
so hype and it was almost completely full despite the prices
I know.
shows, like, dude, Toronto, like, get us back to arena.
I think
like,
what people need to realize, and like we were having this conversation in the kitchen down at the office last week in a different context, is like one of the reasons we were talking about women's sports. We were talking about how I was saying how insane it would be in Toronto specifically, how hard I think a women's hockey team will slam is because I want to watch hockey. Like, I'm a
Yes.
hockey fan. I want to watch hockey.
Yep.
I want to put a jersey on, go down, get a hot dog, get a beer,
Yep.
watch live hockey. I don't want it to cost me $1,000. And
Yeah.
the problem is that to go to a Leafs game, it costs $1,000. Yes, I can go watch the minor league team, the Marlies, but like, I just like the point of me saying this is like, you see this at the event. You know how many people at this event walked up to me and were like, yo, love the channel, love the content, whatever, love you. And I'm like, oh, who are you cheering for? Or like, what's your, how are you having fun at the event? And they would literally be like, oh, like, I don't really have a team. I'm a Counter-Strike player.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
fine.
really watch Valorant. I'm just like super happy to be here because there's an event in Toronto. I'm having the time of my life. It's fun to watch. It's fun to, like, there's so many people who were at this event who were League fans. We had conversations about, like, who do you think is going to win MSI? Who do you think is going to, oh, you watching the major? What's up at the major? Like, and it showed me that, like, Ontario, Toronto, the GTA is just starving.
I know.
Starving for events.
I know because a lot of people are going to put this on Riot. I want to tell everyone that this is not a Riot problem.
It's not.
This is a City of Toronto problem, a
Yes.
City Council problem, and this is a direct call out to the City Council of Toronto, is that there is a very clear audience that wants to do this stuff. But it is, you want to know why COD Champs is in Kitchener? it's not because they want to necessarily be in Kitchener. It's because Kitchener is making it acceptable for them to be there. They're providing some actual resources for them to be there. And there's so many venues in Toronto that would love to do this. Rocket League was trying to get into the Marlies Center, the Coca-Cola Coliseum, and it was insanely expensive. Keep in mind, Canada has literally won a world championship. So it's like there's so many venues that they want to go to. There's so many people that want more events here. Like we want any Worlds here. We want like all these different events, MSI, whatever. But it's impossible to run because our real estate has gone to such a high extent, and Toronto cares nothing for it.
It's also this thing, and it's like it's an Ontario specific thing where like I mean it's not Canada specific, but it's Ontario specific. Where like it's why T-Swift went so insane in Toronto, like even more than like mass like a New York and LA, is because we have this thing where like this is Canada, right? Like this is Ontario, and like this is Toronto, and so like this, it's not just people who live in Toronto come to the event. It's all of Ontario people come to the event. The number of people I talked to at the event who were like, yeah, 3-hour drive from, you know what I mean, from Ottawa, like from Milton, from like it's this hub where everybody in Ontario wants to come to Toronto to watch stuff. And I just feel like they need to, like, I was very happy. On the other hand, I was very sad talking to like university students there. There's a group of students in particular I was talking to who go to Waterloo, and they were talking about the reason they were there is because their university gave away like tickets.
Yep.
And they were able to come for like the Thursday before, like when it was still like like the early matches. And I was like, "Oh, you coming for finals next week?" And they were like, "Oh, like no, like the tickets, like the resale tickets are like 4 figures."
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Yep.
I like, and this is not a thing on Riot. Like,
no, the scalpers are.
But I will say, like, they're folding chairs.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean they're 4 figures? I was like, that's like obviously it's a great event, but I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
We all know.
Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
bad.
It costs $1,000+ to come and to the EnerCare Center and just watch.
Yep.
Like what? Right?
Yeah.
Like. I was blown away. I was like, how in the world is this, like, anyway, I don't know. It's just...
As we were speaking, we did touch on, briefly, how Dimitri has potentially converted. And Liz is going to make... Careful.
We're good.
Liz is going to try and make a case. Okay?
Yeah.
Go off.
Hi, Dimitri. I'm Liz. Very nice to meet.
It's because of the microphone.
Okay.
Little dainty little like royalty shake. No,
Okay, so I listened to what you had to say about the game originally, how you said it's slow.
Yep.
But now you've seen Masters, you've seen the community, you've seen the environment, and you reinstalled the game. And do you play, let's diagnose this. Do you play with friends?
Not for some time.
Buddy, call me up.
Yeah, that's definitely step one is getting people to play with.
We'll do the theScore esports queue, man.
And I want to say I don't solo queue I don't solo queue Counter-Strike. Like
Right.
one of my rules is I don't solo queue Counter-Strike because I don't do well with. I've learned this about myself. I just don't do well with unstructured like pug play.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I'll play Premier, but like Face It, no, I would never solo queue Face It ever. Like so I will say what applies to the Goose should be good for the Gander. Like if I'm going to say that about CS, I should also have that be true of Valorant, right? I should play with a 5-stack.
I think the main issue is that you don't know the intricacies of it because you're kind of like, it's slow, I don't get it, I'm not into it. Is because when I'm playing Valorant, my mind is 24/7 looking at everything, right? Like I may not be physically moving in game, but I'm looking and I'm thinking and I'm listening to everything. Like I'm always thinking, I'm always working on something. Just because I'm not WASDing all over the place and using my util, that's. But like I think because you don't, and I would never expect you to understand it because
I
you haven't played the
used to
game in a
play
while.
the game very seriously when it first came out, and I admit that it has been some time since I played
Years.
it. Yes, years. More than years since I played it really seriously. So absolutely, like
When did
people
Sky
were
come
stunned.
out?
We were in the what?
When did Sky come out?
2020? I don't know. No, the game came on 2020.
No.
I was in the media section.
fucking
Who's the dude who puts up the wall? The robot, or maybe it's the dude. It's like isn't it the robot?
Vise?
Yeah, Vise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vice.
They have the wall, like the Cypher trip that's a wall. We were watching a match in the media zone, and I was standing beside Niall and Brian, and the monitor was on, right? So all the media people are there. All people who cover this game for a living are there, and I'm standing there, Dimitri from theScore esports. And literally, the wall goes up, and I just, like, Niall's in the middle of a sentence. I go, what the fuck is that? And literally, like, 3 people behind me, like, no joke, like, media people were just, they were like, that's a Vise wall. And I was like, I looked at Niall, I was like, what? Or Brian, I looked at Brian, I was like, what is that? Can you shoot that? Is it, how does it come out? And they, like, the media people were, like, looking at each other being like, is this a bit? Like, does she not know? I was like, I have no fucking idea what this agent does. I don't know. Like, I haven't played the game, right? I'll say this. I did used to play the game quite seriously. My objections to Valorant, I think, have always been different than the objections of most Counter-Strike players, which is, I love the fucking utility clusterfuck. I do. I play Overwatch seriously. I've played MOBAs for 15 years. Like, I love the utility clusterfuck. The thing about, and most CS players don't, they get so confused. They get so, why is he teleporting? Why is there a tidal wave coming through the bomb site? That shit doesn't bother me. What bothers me about the game is the movement and the shooting have always felt very, very slow and very sticky. And for a Counter-Strike player, especially a CSGO player, it's really hard to condition yourself to how much, like, slower paced the game feels, right? I reinstalled the game after watching, like, 2 days of Valorant because I was like, you know what? Tejo's not in the game anymore. It's fun to watch again. And so I was like, this was cool. This was hype. Let me go home and reinstall the game. I reinstalled the game. This is what I said on the podcast. I made it 2 games before I was like... And now look, I went back after that to Masters. Just, like, this event restored my faith in esports. Like, the community is so lovely and vibrant and young and excited and bright and just, like, exuberant. And there were so many Counter-Strike players there. I was saying this to Liz off air. Like so many players came up to me and I was like, oh, what team are you rooting for? And they were like, I don't know any of the teams here. I'm a Counter-Strike player like you are, but I think I'm having the most fun. This is awesome. I live in Ontario and wanted to be here, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people like that. And, like, I had the time of my life, and I left the event being like, I just wish so badly that I loved this game more than I do, because CS2 kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. It's not that fucking fun to play. Let's just be honest. It's just not that fun to play. It's not like CSGO versus Valorant anymore, where, like, it's CS2 versus Valorant. And, like, CS2 is just, like, it's fine.
It's mid. But
it's fine.
That being said, with the pro scene as good as it is, that's kind of like what's keeping a lot of people around. If the pro scene wasn't anywhere as good as it is, I don't think a lot of people would be around playing CS like every day and all that stuff, let alone skins.
I think that this.
I think it's like almost Stockholm syndrome with its own fucking fan base right now, because the game is garbage. I can't play a surf map to save my fucking life. And the community browser doesn't exist. The fucking
I would sell a fucking kidney to just be able
get
to
me
play CS:GO
rematch and retakes.
Dude,
and
I think you tweet about this all the time too.
If I could just play, don't even give me CS:GO Valve, like the actual game, like matchmaking, just literally community server CS:GO retakes. I would sell a fucking kidney.
Like, there's so many things,
I would
man.
never play CS2 ever again. I would just play Go retakes.
You could
forever.
play retakes.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna surf for 24 hours, and it's just.
We can play Valorant.
Can I surf in Valorant?
No.
Can you do retakes in Valorant?
No.
You do retake every game if you're on defending and you give up the site. You can retake.
All right, guys,
That's
come on,
true,
just
actually.
plant the bomb, okay? We're just gonna play on the other side.
The round actually starts after the bomb.
All right.
But no. But here's the thing. I really mean it. Like, I left this event and I was like, from the several days I went, and I was like, I am so much more excited about this atmosphere in esports. Maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe it's because I've been playing CS for so long,
jaded.
and I'm sick. But I'm also sick of the jadedness. I'm sick of the, like, I'm really over this. Like, I was gonna put it on the list, and you can actually splice it underneath. Like, but like, you've seen this thing on this Reddit post that's making the rounds about comparing. Everyone's in Counter-Strike is making fun of Boaster's trash talk during the games. And, like, him popping off.
Really?
Yeah, it's like making the rounds right now. Yeah, it's making the rounds all over
You'll have to
social
send it.
media.
I'll ask.
Why are they making fun of it?
Anyway.
Because it's, like, cringe, and it's like, it's him, like, and I think that, like, I was getting, I just, like, it. They did this, like, side by side, like an edit rather, where they did, like, Boaster doing his like, you know, Fortnite dances and his like, you know, like putting his leg up and his foot up next to the serious Counter-Strike trash talk where it's like, you fucking suck, bro.
Dude, it's
You're
getting
so fucking and they're like self-seriously being like, look how cringe Valorant players are and look how cool Counter-Strike players are for being like, you fucking suck, man. And I'm literally looking at this post and I'm like, this is just the most like they're living rent-free in your head ever. I just like
it's giving dude bro energy, and it's so unattractive.
It's so
like
unattractive,
dude, like
dude.
I'm like it's one of those things because like I also come from a community that hates their developer and hates their game in both Rocket League and Melee, and just like in CS, I'm like, bro, I want to be able to love my game.
You don't hate Valorant.
I want to be able to love my community,
Yes.
love my game, maybe have a whatever relationship with my developer, but at least they care, right?
My therapy thing, like my therapy TikTok that you like to all those CS players making fun of the Boaster thing. You don't hate Valorant. You hate Valve. It's just you haven't realized it yet. You don't realize that like all of this bullshit for the past 5 years about Valorante child game afraid of realism and Dark Corridor, you don't understand that you truly would not have this much of a chip on your shoulder if you didn't just fucking hate Valve and Counter-Strike, and the Stockholm Syndrome is so pronounced and so bad, and it's insane that like they're 5 years later, there is still people making fun doing the like self-seriously saying Valorante child game. Like not in a funny actually saying like, look how cringe this pro player is for having these like Fortnite dances during the pop-offs. And you're like, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, are you a person? Did the HLTV forums become a person?
I think
did they fucking mold into a fucking person?
Before it was like isolated and like, you know, contained. It was quarantined, but now it's like been so embraced by the rest of the community of like just shitting on anything that isn't CS, let alone, you know, Valorant, that it's become such a disgusting view, and it's so hard to appreciate in some ways. Sorry.
The thing that the thing that really like has been grinding my gears, especially lately, is the constant comparisons between CS and Valorant, and it's been a thing since like the beginning of time, right? Like the constant and then there's stuff to be like, we're gonna be professional adults and say it's a 5v5, you know, like we're gonna talk about like the TAC FPS, like that's obviously there. You know that meme of like society if, you know, and it's like if and when people realize that these are two separate scenes, two separate esports, two separate lovely scenes in esports and games. Yeah. And we can stop. Comparison is a thief of joy. I, as someone who works, you know, Valorant and like loves VTT, and this is the game, my favorite game, and I love it so much. It's a game that saved my life. You know, I can love and appreciate CS for what it is, and I don't need to be constantly in the rat race comparing it. And I think if the fans and whoever maybe stop the comparisons over and over again. I'm just like, oh, like, do we have the same viewership? And you just let live. I feel like people's enjoyment of everything would increase if you just stopped worrying about like what the other person was doing.
Yeah, because someone brought this up actually. It was like, this is like the exact trail that happened with League of Legends and Dota.
Yep.
Where like there was this constant ship, but now it's like they both respectively just kind of chill in their lane. And even at times, and they even like appreciate each other like at times. Yes. And it's just become an amicable relationship where they are completely separate. And it's one of those things with the game where I'm like, you can like play, you know, poke fun at the game and like whatever, and like how it's played, vice versa. Like I've seen it for Valorant kids, they'll shit on, wow, okay, great, you're WASDing and then, you know, throwing flashes like every 2 seconds, you're blind for 20 seconds in a row or whatever. Like that's fine, right? And we'll do the same thing with Valorant. That's fun. But like, dude, you'll never hear me shit on the scene of Valorant, the community of Valorant, because it's filled with so much optimism and love for their game, and I'm jealous, frankly, half the time. And they're loving their game.
I'm so jealous. I can't so several things to say on this, because as a very
we'll wrap this up soon. So just
as a very serious former Dota player, like I've also lived through this twice.
Yeah.
So, like I have League. I'll say this. League and Dota are way more different as video games. Like leaving aside the communities for a second, just as video games than Valorant and Counter-Strike. I maybe my Counter-Strike player is showing, but I honestly don't think it is. I think it is like, I do think I agree with everything that's just been said. I do think that I've also heard a lot of people, usually on the Valorant side of things, be like, I mean, they're just totally different games. They're just entirely different video games. It's literally called the op. It's literally called the op. By the way, and this is my gauge, this is my rule. If your keybinds for one game can work in another game, which in Valorant save the fact that you have 4 nades in CS, right? You have 4 abilities in Valorant, like the 3 plus the ult, right? I'm not saying they're not different games. I'm saying that, like, when Riot made League, they actually envisioned, like, their own MOBA. They were honestly like, let's try something. And yeah, there were, like, more similarities to Dota way back in the beginning. But, like, when I played the League of Legends beta in, like, 20 fucking 9, 10,
yeah, anyway,
it was very different. And it grew. It was still very different even then. Valorant and Counter-Strike have always been very, 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 very similar. Very, very, very similar. They are extremely similar games. I don't think it's a fault against Valorant. I'm just saying there is a reason why you get these constant comparisons. But I am so jealous. I am so jealous of how vibrant the community is, how excited people are about the game. And the last thing I'll say is, like, the reason that Boaster shit, the people making fun of him, is so cringe is because there is nothing fucking cringier in the world, in Star Wars, in esports, in nothing cringier in music than making fun of 12-year-olds for liking something. Yeah. There is nothing cringier than making fun of a 14-year-old or 15-year-old who is getting into esports. This is their first esport. They're so fucking excited about it. They're so excited about their favorite streamer, about their favorite tournament, about their favorite player, about their favorite agent, their favorite cosplayer, their favorite artist. And you, as this butthurt fucking 36-year-old Counter-Strike player who haven't had a real fucking developer your entire life, are looking at them and taking out all of your anger at Valve on this 16-year-old who did nothing wrong and is just loving the game they were given. And frankly, you're just jealous, like I am. I'm profoundly, deeply jealous at the community that they have. And I think if you watched Valorant Masters, or you were lucky enough to be there like I was, and you did not leave thinking I would give fucking anything to have this, you're just in denial.
And on that bombshell, damn. Well, do I want to... Okay, well, this feels like a big one to go on. Okay, moving on. I was gonna bring up the rats. If you wanted to quickly talk about rats and EMEA.
They did it again for the 4th time. Put them in the LEC. I swear to God, there's like nothing left to say. I'm
literally gonna add a topic on the fucking overlay that's just gonna be like the rats win EMEA. It's gonna and the YouTube like the timeline. It's gonna last for like a blip.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, basically, yeah, just put them in the LAC, boys. This is a quick one, but they're EMEA Masters once again.
I'm gonna double dip for 1 second because it was out of fairness to Liz. I'm more tempted to try to be converted again now than I have been.
We should play.
I am. I'm tempted now.
Group chat.
Yeah, we'll play.
I'm not. Can't make any promises, but I definitely am more tempted now to try to go back into it. I think I have more of an open mind now because I don't even play CS2 anymore. Yeah. The problem before was that I was playing CS:GO very, very, very seriously, and so every time I went to Valorant, I was like, yeah, I can play this on a Thursday night with a few friends for fun. Like it's like playing like Mario Kart, like for a fun. But like, I can't pull myself away from this competitive game. I don't even play CS2 anymore. So I am actually at a point where I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try it.
Jump in.
At least until they add a community browser in the game where I can play Surf again.
And then,
and B-hops and jailbreak, and like the fun CS shit that actually got me into playing Counter-Strike Source, those.
I saw a lot of people wearing Rats merch at Masters.
So hyped, dude.
That's cool.
Is that cool?
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then like someone came out was like, "Hey Liz," because I said their jersey like it was the day of their finals, and I like said, "Oh, I like your jersey." They're like, "Yeah," and like I was walking out of the venue, and someone opens the door, and they're like, "Liz," and it's the guy in the jersey. They're like, "Do you want to know the results?"
Oh,
and they
that's cute.
and like, they told me that like they won, and I was like, "I just
You
the
may-
Rats are so cool."
maybe-
It got me into League, like dead ass. Like
They
Sean
are the
Wetzler is
best
worried for me.
Yeah,
in
no,
esports.
actually, don't get into it.
No, but I'm in, bro.
but I
I'm
will
there watching
say,
Rats' streams. Like
I think there is something about the fact that because we've been in esports, and this is the last thing I'll say before we move on to some stupid fucking shit that I posted in the topic sheet. I think it's the fact that we've been in esports for so long. Like collectively, we're all kind of older, and that we have more of a perspective on how these games have grown, how these scenes have grown. That we get like, to us, pessimism and like nihilism over games is a huge ick. Right. And like, we want to be able to experience the good in the community that we once had when we were in our own respective communities. Yeah. For me, and again, I'm going to bring it up again, but it's just been happening for a while. Like, Rocket League is in such a pessimistic state because of its state with the developer, and the community is in such a doomer mentality that I'm like, anytime there's something to be happy about, or someone is doing something cool, or like there's like a cool thing happening in the community, I'm like, please, like, let's just do this. And like going into the Valorant scene, because I was also at Masters, I like looked at how much positivity there was, and I was really moved. Only because like I have been in so many different scenes, Melee, Rocket League, CS, where it's just filled with just this doomer mentality, like esports winner shit, like all this stuff. And I look at it and I'm like, God, for the love of please don't take this away. Like just please like allow this to exist and like continue to develop in a way that other games and scenes can take after it and can integrate some of that like general positivity and optimism and love in their own scenes, communities, and games. Yeah. So it's like, shout out to Riot. They're doing great work. And I hope to go to another Valorant event at some point.
In North America.
In North America, hopefully.
I'm just sad. Now we're talking about it again, and I'm just sad.
Okay, let's brighten the mood a little bit. Because, do any of you guys play War Thunder?
No.
Not again. You're kidding. Again? No. Are you kidding?
So, to those of you who don't know, War Thunder is a war simulator where basically you can play as planes, tanks, and boats. And it's all set around like World War II to Cold War era, World War I to Cold War era stuff. You can fly planes. It's one of my favorite games to play because it's literally a turn off your brain, fly a Spitfire, shoot down planes, and it's fucking sick. I recommend anyone playing it. It's also very, very technical. And the whole point of the game is that it's meant to be extremely accurate to the planes of the time because they're all historical planes. So you guys don't have to look so bored.
I'm not looking bored. I know I know exactly what you're about to say. It's about to piss me off.
I'm bored and I know where this
is. So it takes pride in the fact that it is extremely historically accurate. Every single part, every single rivet, every single bolt in a plane is really accurate because it takes it takes a technical document and it actively
documents. You say
it takes technical documents and it recreates in the game. Unfortunately, one of the problems that War Thunder has is, for a lot of planes that they have in the game, they receive classified documents in that these motherfuckers, because so many people who are actually in the military play this game, go into the War Thunder forums. They'll get into fucking like shit throwing contests where they're like, no, this part was actually over here and use this particular ammunition. Here's how I know. Fucking posts a technical manual of a plane that is classified. And there is an account on Twitter, if we throw it up, called Days Without Confidential Leaks in War Thunder. And because it happens so often. And just yesterday, the clock has been reset.
All right, everyone.
Days since classified military documents have been leaked in War Thunder. 0.
Give it up.
All right.
And to those of you who care, and I kind of do, this was over, what is it? I believe it was a Harrier plane, the AV-8, pretty much, which is a particular type of Harrier aircraft. And yeah. You know,
they did it again.
They did it. They did it again.
Specific rules.
Yeah, no,
like,
because
it's like the rule of like, please don't leak classified documents.
No, seriously, like it's an actual thing.
Someone has to like exclamation point mod. They'll be like,
because it fucking happens so often. I think the last one was like they posted technical and what's even worse is like some of these planes are still in fucking service. Yeah. So like someone posted documents on like the F-14, right? Like some blueprints or whatever, which is still in service in some places, and like people are like, you know, but like you said, more realism.
Yeah.
You got to be realistic.
Oh
It's,
my
you know,
God.
it's like the accuracy matters the most. Anyway,
The process I want to know is how do you know? How you looking at the document and someone's like, wait a second. Like,
so, well, if I remember correctly, is like typically like there'll be like markings in the actual document that like this
Okay,
is
like
like
a watermark or
you know,
something.
but
this is very classified. Please don't show on.
but
Watermark.
oftentimes it's like it's not as if like, oh, they're blacked out like it's in fucking Black Ops or whatever. It's just that they are they're pretty much like manuals that pilots will get to learn about their aircraft.
Right.
Pretty much. Like every single part of the aircraft. You ever watch like Top Gun Maverick is like I'm assuming you read the manual of your F-16. Well, so does your enemy. Throws it in the garbage. That manual is what fucking people are posting to War Thunder forums.
Right.
So it's kind of hilarious.
And the reason the enemy has read it is because it's been posted on the War Thunder forums.
Well, dude, I mean, you know, fucking how shit's going on in the world.
Dude,
like,
I mean,
you know?
I think that honestly, this is like e-gaming gone fucking like E. This is like they've turned a forum about a game into an esport, which is just one-upping each other with documents. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's become a competition. So what else is going on in gaming news?
I'd recommend anyone play it though. It's fucking awesome.
Cool.
You know?
I'm afraid of heights. I can't fly planes.
Can you fly in a plane? Really? Because I'm deathly afraid of heights. But one of the things I love is flying in a. Well, okay, takeoff and landing sucks, but I do like flying in a plane. So as far as I know, the idea of being afraid of heights, but you're good with plane, is that you don't perceive height when you're past a certain point.
Oh god,
right?
I'm so aware of how high.
Yeah. So there was when I did fly to Japan, there were points where I'm like, you know, I'm kind of like 30,000 feet above ground over empty water, where if anything happens, I am 100% dead.
Yeah.
You know, and like I would like. You know, like that meme of like waking up on a Monday with like the Metallica, like, you know, and like that's like me coming out of my airplane nap, and I'm like, oh, I could die. All right, and then go back to bed. Honestly, that's kind of all I had.
All you had?
What were we talking about? Isn't that Falcons transfer?
Oh yeah.
Oh, QSK.
Just before we started recording this, I'll actually bring it up because I think Bernie sent it to me. Yep. Kyosuke has in fact joined Falcons officially. I'll just download this image so we can bring it up on the screen. But
Can I say I'm going to pose a question to you guys as someone who, again,
let's bring up the announcement on the screen.
A
as
fan
well.
of CS,
Yeah.
right? Sick,
Nice
cool
graphic.
announcement.
Nice graphic. Cool.
Congrats. As someone who has watched Falcons from afar and has seen them just throw money at these incredible players and seen them kind of just like crumble every single time. What is this? Is this like another like throwing money at it and seeing if
Yeah.
Okay.
This is throwing money at a rookie, hoping it fixes the problem as if it was their players that, you know, were like.
I said this in my Donami when I did this a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, but when they got knocked out after the magnificent choke at the major,
Yeah.
I said there is this feeling. How insane is it? That like they have this magnificent joke, right? They have, you know, they had, because they just mentioned this morning, but they had Magisk, right, with 4 fucking majors, right?
Yeah.
Zonic with fucking 4 as well, whatever the fuck it is, right? 5, 4, I forget. 5, yeah, 5.
Yeah.
9 majors between their coach and Magisk. They have Nico, the greatest rifler alive, and they have Munisi, one of basically the second best opera in CS2 who's not Zywoo, right?
Yeah.
They can't get out of fucking groups.
Yeah.
But hold on. Let's sign this 17-year-old and that will save them.
Yeah.
It's just like this absolute lunacy bin where like every time they fail to win a series, it's like we got to go back to like the papa and be like, pull out the checkbook. We need a carte blanche again.
Yeah.
And I think it is a very funny thing that you just had Mongolz play a major final, but Falcons.
And Mongolz are like 100th probably of the price of the fucking, like, it's Moneyball, where you literally have a team that is like just built up of a bunch of dudes from the Mongolian scene, and they travel to everything. Falcons have millions put into this roster, and they can't even make it out of fucking group.
And like, has it ever worked in Counter-Strike that you have? I don't think I can think of a single example where anyone has successfully bought a major. OG FaZe in 2018, the first like real true super team of FaZe, right, with Olaf and Guardian and Nico. They never won a major. They bought a few titles. They had a couple of insane run, right?
Yeah.
But they never actually won a major. I can't think of a team in Counter-Strike that ever successfully bought their way to a major. It's always been like locally, some
literally none.
Literally none.
No.
I can't think of a
Navi
single
didn't.
one.
Astralis didn't. Vitality didn't. I have Vitality unless you count the Astralis players, but I don't really count that because I was the domestic.
Yeah.
No.
How would you fix Falcons?
Get uncomfortable conversations about Nico. And potentially IGL change. And that's the only way you kind of do it. And then I think Zonic is fine, but
I think there was only one like conversation. I think Munacy is still Munacy. I think he's still fine.
No, you don't
I think
get rid of
that
him.
but I think
you need a better leader IGL.
I do
you
think
can't have Nico be the prominent guy in the room who's taking charge, because that fails, as well as Nico's becoming more inconsistent. So
I think that there is something to be said for like
we're gonna be wrapping up soon. So.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for the fact that like at some point it goes from a mental, like I think Devin said this a couple weeks ago, it goes from a mental like obstacle for Nico to like a full on like he called it a mental health crisis, but I think that like it's a mental block.
Yeah.
Like the Toronto Maple Leafs are like this, where it's just it gets to this point where like you just at some point. It's not like at some point you can literally see it on the player's face where like they lose one clutch. Like he loses one gunfight, they lose one round, and like the camera will cut to Nico and you'll see him like, do the face palm, you'll see him like do the like he'll be jittering, and you'll start to see like this guy has lost 16 majors. Yeah. Like it's not at a point anymore. Like it's becoming an actual like crisis in the sense of like he can't just lose a round and be like, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it might be the worst ongoing loss streak in esports right now. In fact, actually,
if Nico never wins a major, it will be one of the most statistically impressive things in esports.
Yeah. No, actually,
his rating is so ridiculous. Fucking high. Like he's so gifted.
He will probably go down as like a easily like top 5 CS:GO player of all time.
Oh,
right.
Like he's probably like third.
Third or fourth, and behind Device Saiwu and Simple.
Yeah,
number 4.
And he's sniffed a major, but he's never
several times.
Yeah,
but
and it's always eluded him. Anyway, it's one of those things where I'm like, is this gonna work? I still think no. Everyone seems to be convinced. I'm like, probably fucking not. But everyone seems to think it's going to be absolutely great, as if suddenly adding a rookie is going to just change your life. But we'll see. Either way, we're about to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Any final words?
I have one.
Yeah.
Go for it.
It made me, when Dimitri was talking to me about, you spoke about how the kind of the optimism and like how it was awesome for you to see how happy and positive everyone was in Valorant. That makes me so happy. Like, and that's like what I wish people knew about the game itself. And like, I know we can like talk about like, issues with abilities and whatever, like talk about anything has problems, but it makes me so happy that like people can see the community for why I love it and why I stay and for what it is. And it makes me really, really happy. And, all games deserve that for what it's worth. And like, it makes me sad to hear that you feel so like all this anger at Valve, all this anger at Epic. And I wish,
Oh, I mean, Riot does stupid shit all the time, dude. Like, all the time. Bro, there is no community. Seriously, there is no community that hates its game as much as the League community. Not a single one. Yeah. Like, Sean and I were talking about this, like, openly saying. I think he said it in his documentary, like, in his video essay. Like, there is no community that hates their game as much as, and I wouldn't even say the dev, I would just say the game, that hates the game as much as League. But I would say, like, it's every dev does stupid shit. It's more just, like, I don't know, man. I walked into that event several times, and it just felt like everybody there was just so happy to be there because, the game. Yes, because of the game. But, like, because of the people. Because of the streamers. Because of the pro players. Because of the casters. Because of the content. Because of the cosplay. Because like, there was just so... And of course you get that if you go to the CS major, but it's just like, it's just different, you know? It just feels like I'm so excited to see like people, young people who just are so excited about this being their first esport and, you know, are close to their first. And it's just like,
it was nice.
It was really, 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 really nice. I wish
that makes me happy.
Fucking
no, actually, like I haven't felt like that at a tournament probably since the first Rocket League tournament that I went to, which was LA in 2021 or 22, where everyone just wanted to be there and loved to be there and had such optimism. And the fact that even after all the stuff that's happened in esports, has gone down with esports winner stuff, that the Valorant can still maintain that kind of optimism is even more than League is really special. So
I'm smiling like I did anything to be a part of it. I'm like a proud
you're
mom.
A part of it. Shush. Okay. Come on, you're part of it.
I'm like,
you know,
it makes me happy.
You're the Valorant ambassador to us. Okay. Dimitri, any last words?
No, I think I said those were my last words. I had a great time at Masters, and I'm sad that it's over. I'm actually more upset that Masters is over than that the CS major is over. But that's to be fair, and I will just give the asterisk on this. That's because I was attending Masters in person, and that's what I miss. I miss being able to like hop on the bus after work and be like, oh, let's go down to the event and see what's going on.
I walked home. People. It was awesome. You know, I walked from the event to home and from home to the event, and it was great. I need more of that. More events in Toronto. But for now, that is the end of our show. Didn't get the chance to read some comments, but you guys were super, super gracious in the last episode. You particularly liked some of our takes and the Valorant and CS stuff. We're happy that we're able to serve you guys and really kind of deliver some awesome content for y'all. We're just hoping that please don't fight in the chat, okay? I hope you guys understood our message with this, and I hope you guys can show some community bonding between both CS and Valorant. Yeah, there. Look at that. We got our two people shaking hands. There you go.
Why?
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Why? Anyway, why, man?
All right. Appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back again. Is next week Canada Day? Yes. So we are actually going to be moving our show over to the Wednesday that day because we're going to be having some people off for Canada Day as well. Celebrate Canada Day because it's awesome and Canada's a great country. But yes, we'll be on the Wednesday. That's when you'll see it in your feed. That's when you'll see it on Spotify and all that stuff. So we'll be back next week on Wednesday. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
I also think, I didn't say this on the podcast, I think Apex is really cute.
He's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man.
He's really cute, Chris.
Yeah, he's a good-looking man.
I think he's really cute.
All right, I'm putting that.
No, wait, no, because if he's in a relationship, that's weird. If he's not.
No. I think he's married.
He's married?
I think he's married.
Please don't put that in.
You can still say someone's cute.
No, that's weird.
I don't think so.
No, that's fine. It just means that she has a crush on a CS player, not
no,
a Valorant player.
Okay, I just hold on.